Hello and welcome to the Diski Preview Show. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and today we'll be taking a look at two big games that will be coming in about 4 days' time, where Espérance and Mamelodi Sundowns will lock horns, while Orlando Pirates will face MC Alger, and the other big one, potentially explosive, it's TS Galaxy facing Kaizer Chiefs.
Yep.
I'm joined in the studio by the man who's going to be responsible for the analysis, the permutations, and all the Mgozi. Mgozi, Baba.
Mr. E.
Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be back.
Yeah, fantastic. Last time we had Bernard Parker in the studio. Today you took his chair.
Yeah, no, I had to come back.
Yeah.
These are big games.
Yeah.
There's very big games coming up.
Certainly.
Very exciting times.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, we're going to have a lot to discuss. A lot of drama over the past week.
Yeah.
I think the whole season was quiet, drama-wise.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, boom. And what a play! And the only place where that could happen was Pretoria.
That was in Pretoria.
Yeah.
But also, there's also news that came out of Soweto that I think a lot of Pirates fans at this moment in time have not climatized to. I'm not sure if it was April Fool's, but we'll find out just now.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think...
was the news on the first?
Yeah, the news was on the second, so I think they had to wait for the
probably
second.
it was true.
Yeah, but hey, let's get to it. It's going to be a big one today.
Most certainly. Let's get to it. Let's take a quick break. Stay tuned.
It's a great run. He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
We're still watching the Diski Preview Show, and let's go straight to our first game, where Mamelodi Sundowns will be traveling to
Tunisia.
Yeah, to face Espérance. Hey, we saw crazy scenes there at the stadium when Mamelodi Sundowns beat Espérance by 1-0. Was it? I think it was the first time that they've beaten them, right?
It's unfortunate because I remember somebody was saying that one thing that they admire about South African football is the culture that we can have fans of different teams sitting in the same places.
Exactly.
And
it normally doesn't happen in other countries. You always see the home team in one section, and then you've got the away team in another section.
I mean, Soweto Derby, when you look at it, it's not yellow versus black.
Yeah, I was
it's black and yellow everywhere.
Yeah, black and you can't see exactly where the home team is sitting.
Exactly, because sometimes we are divided as households in South Africa. You're a Sundowns fan, you're the father. The wife is a Chiefs fan. Your son decides that he wants to support Pirates. So we have a lot of blended support when it comes to South African football. So to have seen the scenes we saw in Pretoria, bear in mind that game was taking place broad daylight during the day, 3:30. I think it was on a Tuesday.
And it was a family affair, right?
It was a family affair. The stadium packed up slowly, but once it got totally packed, there was friction between the fans. And by the time by the time the game ended with Sundowns win by 1 goal, Peter Shalulile putting the ball behind the net, the scenes we saw were very disappointing.
Yeah. Could it be that the Espérance fans maybe are not used to sitting side by side with their opposition teams? As I know that, especially in North Africa, you always see them subdivided throughout the whole stadium.
I think they also try to do the same thing with us. I mean, with the game that took place on Tuesday, because there was barricades between the two bands of supporters, but those barricades were then weaponized later on with people holding them up.
Yeah, I saw one guy. I didn't know whether he wanted to attack someone or he was trying to save himself from attack.
I saw one guy taking drums, and they were like, this one is expropriating the drums.
Oh, the white drums. But on a lighter note, we saw one of the fans from Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yes.
He saved that guy. There was about to fall off from a very, very high place.
Mr. E, that was scary because
that was so scary.
A lot of people were jumping over to the other stand and running out the doors that side. Yeah. And unfortunately, this one man happened to fall onto the railing. Yeah. And he had to try get himself back up. But once he got to the end of the railing, he realized he's not going to be able to reach.
Okay.
And this gentleman got there. And it's sad because in the interview, he says that when he got there, the gentleman said to him, "Chief, please don't do it. I have 3 kids." He didn't use the word chief. I'm just South African. We call everyone chief.
Okay.
He said, "I have 3 kids."
Yeah.
And when he said, "I have 3 kids," that's when.
So the implication was that maybe he wanted to finish him off.
Yes, that's what he thought. But unfortunately, fortunately for him, the gentleman actually was able to pull him over to the other side. Says they went into the pack and they broke down. But you see,
that's Ubuntu for you.
Events like that take away from the game itself.
Yeah.
Because now the news around Sundowns, around Espérance Tunis, is no longer about the football now. It's more about
played on the pitch.
It's more about what's happening in the stands. Yeah. And you're seeing comments on social media that they're saying, "You supported your team there. Come support your team here." I'm like,
so that's going to be the scary part when Mamelodi Sundowns travels there, because already there was a lot of action on the terraces there. And chances are there's going to be a lot of action again in the terraces when they get to Tunisia. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think,
come to think of it, remember in Tunisia they speak French.
Yes.
And this side,
English.
It's English. So how are they communicating?
And where it's not English, it's Pitori.
It's Pitori, yes.
So,
okay, coming to the game now, how did you say? What was your analysis of the game?
I think Espérance came in with a lot of intensity.
Yeah.
They had a 4-game unbeaten streak before the game kicked off.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had 3 draws and 1 win behind them, 3 draws in a row.
Yeah.
That was actually in light of the fact that they were leaking in defense, because they had a 2-2 and a 1-1 draw in that 4-game run.
And Shalulile took advantage of that.
Now, when you meet a team as solid in defense as well as Mamelodi Sundowns, you can't allow them to score a goal and then try, know, defend. Peg them back. So I think that's where the frustration came from. I mean, even at full time, some of the Espérance Tunis fans felt that they were robbed in terms of the fixture. I mean, not the fans, but also the players themselves.
Yeah.
So
probably thinking that there are some instances where maybe the refereeing could have been better in favor of Espérance.
100%, and that's the one thing about a 1-0 result. It's never convincing. You always feel like we could have gotten a draw, we could have edged it, we could have won it,
we could have got something out of it.
Yeah, but the reality is that I think also the loss for Mamelodi Sundowns against Orlando Pirates really did, give everyone the perception that Sundowns was on a decline. Yeah, and don't forget that loss.
Chances are maybe Espérance, that's the game. Maybe they analyze prior to that match to say, I know we can work around the footage that we have so that we can beat Sundowns. And it wasn't to be. And I think that's where the mistake was, because one game against the second biggest team in South Africa at the moment, or the other big team in South Africa. You're Espérance Tunis coming here. You're a big team in Tunisia. You're a big team in Africa in the context. But you have to bear in mind that Sundowns would have sacrificed that match for this one. Exactly.
And exactly what the coach's plan was to save the key players. I mean, in that game, I remember he started with, if I'm not mistaken, Reina started, Ribeiro started, but Shalulile came off the bench. In this game, Shalulile started the game.
So he wanted to
Reina
save
was on the bench.
the legs of Shalulile.
And
that did work.
100%. I think for him, he felt that Shalulile was the right man for the job when it came to Espérance Tunis. And he felt that maybe Ribeiro and Reines with their pace and intelligence were the right guys for the Pirates job. So I think he played his cards well there. He didn't get the result against Orlando Pirates, but it's not the end of the season anyway. So he can still win the league. But for this game, I mean, you have 2 legs. First leg at home. You won, especially because in Africa, if you think about it, every time Sundowns has been knocked out, it's because they failed to get a result at home. Yes. So a result at home for them against Espérance Tunis speaks volumes.
And I can safely say right now it puts one of their legs into the semi-finals, because if they win this one or get a positive result, they go straight to the semi-finals.
You can even say it's an Egyptian mentality. I mean, we've seen it with Pyramids, we've seen it with Zamalek, we've seen it with El Ahly. They'll do whatever it takes to win at home. And then when they go away, they'll do whatever it takes not to lose. So I think Sundowns have learned from the mistake of yesteryear against Young Africans, where they went to Young Africans, they got a draw, they came back here, and because they failed to win it here, they lost the entire time. So it happens in Africa where you have to get your result at home and now Sundowns has it.
And then we try maybe a draw on the road.
100%.
Yeah. So now, can you quickly give us a prediction of this game here? I know it's not going to be an easy one as Mamelodi Sundowns goes to Tunisia for two matches, one in the field and the other one off the field.
So I think when it comes to it, Sundowns will be a hard rock to break for Espérance Tunis. They did everything right in that match. They literally did nothing wrong in terms of the way they approached the game, the enthusiasm, the tactics they used. Their chances just didn't go their way. So I think for this game that's coming up in the second leg, expect a tight affair. Expect goal scored by one side. I think that side will be Sundowns if they do get a goal. I don't see both teams scoring, so I think it will be another maybe 1 or 2-0 result to Mamelodi Sundowns. But let's be honest, they will be happy to walk away with a draw. A draw will certainly confirm their place in the semi-finals. But like I said, the difference between Rulani and this coach is that Rulani played it safe most of the time. This coach likes to risk, so that's why I'm going for the 1-2 goal away to Espérance Tunis.
Okay, those are the predictions of Mr. Mo. He's saying Mamelodi Sundowns will come back to South Africa with a positive result after beating Espérance. Stay tuned.
Before you close it, Mr. E.
Oh yeah.
What is your prediction?
My prediction. Oh, yeah. No, it can never be 4. Not this time around, man. My prediction will be 2-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns.
You cut your
This
foot
is
in
not
half.
PSL, man. This is not PSL.
You cut your foot in half.
I know how the North African teams are when they're playing home. It's an intimidating atmosphere. It's crazy, man. Yeah. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at our second game where Orlando Pirates will be hosting MC Alger at Escortins Kamaminze.
Great run. He pulls it back. Rasmus Højlund. Thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
We're still covering the CAF Champions League as we take a look at our next featured game where Orlando Pirates will be hosting MC Alger. Hey.
Yeah.
I think the biggest job was done away from home by Orlando Pirates.
Of course, Mr. E. Yeah. They had to do it. And, now there's more pressure on them after the news came out on the 2nd of April that their head coach, Jose Riviero, is departing at the end of the season.
Yippee! I'm saying this on behalf of Mogomosi folks. One thing that I'm going to tell you about the two Soweto Giants, if both of them are not performing very well, it's okay because there's nobody who's going to laugh at the other one. But now, Amapagania, they've been doing way better than Amakosi and they've ended their trophy drought and so on. But Kaizer Chiefs, there's nothing that's coming. So I think that's going to be good news for the Kaizer Chiefs faithfuls.
Yeah, but ish.
But has that been confirmed though?
I don't know if it was April Fool's or if it's not. But
if it happened right about the 1st or so, it could have been anything.
Could have been. But don't forget, the conversation started about a year ago. Where many fans, many pundits, many analysts, many journalists started raising the fact that Jose Riviero is living in South Africa and his family is living back in Spain. So they were saying that obviously, like any man, he will get to a point of frustration and he'll probably pack his stuff up and he will leave and go back to Spain. So I don't know if the club made efforts to try to convince the families come this side.
Nah, I don't think so. Because I saw pictures, I think a few days back, whereby they were in Finland.
Yes.
He was in Finland with his family, so chances are they were not here to travel. So I think most of the time he travels there.
A few moments later.
Sorry about that, Mr. I had to sneeze. So the reality is that this has been a concern for a lot of people, like I said, journalists, pundits, fans, that he's living here and the family's back there. Maybe we should have invited them for dinner in Cape Town. Be like, look, Jürgen Klopp likes Cape Town.
He was here a couple of weeks back.
Unless if Jürgen Klopp is going to go coach Pirates. Because I've also heard rumors that he's back in a managerial role.
Don't you think maybe it's going to be Kaizer Chiefs instead?
No. I don't think he eats chips. But back to the story. I think the reality is that Jose Riviero got to a place where he's now got the team to where he wants it to be. They're achieving the goals he wants them to achieve. But I don't think he necessarily is going to miss out on raising his kids and being with his family for coaching Orlando Pirates. And most probably for his successes, he's probably got a job waiting for him that side.
Most certainly.
So it was a few seasons of upward trajectory for Pirates. They just have to find someone who's going to be good enough to replace him. But let's talk about.
But they do have a backup in the assistant coach. What's his name?
I'm not sure.
Ngas.
I'm not sure. We'll have to check. But if they can do that, that's fantastic. Then they know they have continuation. But let's back to the story. I mean, they're coming into this game now with 5 games, no losses. This is before the Polokwane game kicks off. And they're looking quite good, Orlando Pirates. And the style of football they've been playing, positional-based football, the talents they've been able to attract. And the reality is that with Jose Riviero leaving, there's a lot of talents that want to follow him. The likes of Abu Mabasa are probably going to get offers. The likes of Abu Mofokeng, obviously, top of the list.
If it doesn't go right now, I mean, I'll be disappointed as well. I think this is the right time for him as a young man to go overseas there, explore other opportunities, make some money, and maybe at a later stage come back. But it's his time to shine right now.
But right now, it feels like Pirates gets one thing right and they get another thing wrong. Not from the club's perspective, but you have what's his name? Usaleng.
Usaleng.
Coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's doing his return. Hard guys, I'm back. Then the coach says he's leaving. Same time, there's offers from North Africa for your star player Mfuke.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go through. The end of the season gonna be quite rough for them.
Yeah.
But it's gonna give them motivation to push harder.
Yeah.
So they can be able to achieve, the goals that they want to achieve.
Yeah.
The reality is that now with Saling coming back in, it might be a mix-up in terms of tactics.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams might not be ready for it because the Pirates we knew a month ago, 2 months ago, is no longer the same Pirates.
Exactly.
So which means it's a positive for the fans for right now.
Yeah.
But long term is going to be a problem
some
because
implications there.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think Pirates are in a good place. I think Alger, they're going to come to Soweto and just they're not going to be able to turn it around.
Yeah.
And Sundowns, Pirates will continue to the next round.
Yeah. It
Which
certainly
means,
looks like. I think of the two teams participating in the CAF Champions League, I think the one which is in a better position to progress is Orlando Pirates because they managed to get an away goal.
Yeah.
But on the other hand as well, Mamelodi Sundowns, they did very well by denying Espérance an away goal because they do play a crucial role at this time of the competition.
Yeah, that's true. And when we talk about CAF, our teams in CAF Champions League, we look at Junior Kanyo, who started the season by saying Pirates don't have the pedigree to play in the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
Now everyone is posting that video and say, Botini, Botini. And then you have on the other side of the coin, Utisha with Diski, who said Pirates will outperform Sundowns in the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, that also will have to turn around and say, Botini. So,
but they've been magnificent. I'm sure.
Been.
I think they've been on the rise over the past few seasons. Hence, they find themselves with one leg into the semi-finals as well, just like Mamelodi Sundowns. But with that being said, what's your prediction on this game here? Taking into consideration that this game is going to be played in Soweto?
I think Alger is going to come here and lose 3-0.
Yeah.
The reality is that the players, the fans, they're all going to be the same thing that happened with Liverpool last season when Jurgen Klopp announced his departure.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that team became one of the best teams in Europe at that time because the players are playing for the departing, for the coach who's leaving. The fans are going to stand behind their team because it's a moment of we are celebrating, but yet we're crying because we're losing such a big figure.
We're in transition.
So I think it's going to be a 3-0 win.
Yeah.
The players will come out and play. They'll give their hearts.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a couple of yellow cards. So if I was going to place a bet, I'd place a bet on like 2 or 3 yellow cards in that game.
Yeah.
So I think they'll play with a lot of passion. They'll play with a lot of vigor and a lot of hunger.
Yeah.
They'll want to bring the CAF Champions League home for the first time in, should I say it, 29 years.
Exactly. And I think at the present moment, it's the battle between the two South African giants on who's going to get the second star.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to get the second one first?
At this moment, it looks like Pirates will lead the way.
Yeah.
In the words of Sir Ivan Khoza, he said that only South Africa and England have a league where it's not a 2-horse race. Anyone can win it.
Anyone can win it.
So for me, I'll back up that statement because we're looking at where Chiefs is right now. We're looking at where Swallows is right now.
Yeah.
We're looking at where Cosmos is right now. Now we're looking at new names like the Rockets that want to play Kaizer Chiefs, the next match we're talking about.
Yeah.
But for the CAF Champions League, I think Pirates have always been pioneers for South African football.
Yeah.
And right now, you look at the support behind them. You look at the coach they have. You look at the players. The return of Saleng. I think all the ingredients are there for Pirates to go on and win the CAF Champions League. And if they don't, I think they'll at least make it to the final.
Yeah, most certainly. They will make it to the finals and become
the first team with the second star.
No, I wanted to say, remember, do you know the last team that went to the final from South Africa?
It was Kaizer Chiefs.
Kaizer Chiefs, yeah.
Against the Lachli.
Exactly. So
and Peter was a happy man.
Yeah, he was a happy man. He could only be happy because Alakli won.
Yeah, but hey.
Okay, we're having fun in the studio.
Before you finish,
yeah,
in that run to the final for Kaizer Chiefs, they went into the quarterfinals with Coach A. Kevin Hunt.
Yeah.
Then they went into the semifinals with Coach B.
Yeah.
Which was Uzwani.
Yeah.
And they played the final with Stuart Baxter.
No Baxter, yeah.
So maybe the secret to Kaizer Chiefs, guys, let us take turns coaching the team every weekend. Sisha is scarce. But this weekend or Nozebama next weekend.
Yeah, but that good run of form, who would you attribute that to?
I think
out of the three.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm just saying that you plan, Leo, guys. You guys want to win the league. Weekend, give it to me. Other weekend,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're having fun in the studio with Mo here. He's telling us his thoughts on what Kaizer Chiefs should do to try and win the league or potentially the CAF Champions League. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at Kaizer Chiefs again, going head-to-head with TS Galaxy. Bye.